Okay, hi guys. So this is a video that I promised. Sorry for it coming out late. I will keep updating them as I finish them. Okay. So here is the base source code that I will be giving you guys. Along with the video. So extract this if you want to follow along. I give you the repository with all the code at the end anyway. Okay, so here is what you get. So basically, if you open this in VS Code, this is just the next front end with no back end at all. And we going to first step, we're going to try connecting to our Supabase database and just try to see that we get the fetch request as usual. And then we continue on in the next video. So the first step, actually let me show you how this look like first. So I'm going to run this in a command prompt so that it don't clog up my terminal. So here, this is at, you can actually just start the process. Oops, what happened? For some reason it tell me streaming fail. It's still recording though, so hopefully this is all right. So npm run dev, and as usual, you pretty follow. Remember this step by now. Okay. So this is what you get. So there are some front end that already did for you. Now, so for example, there's a profile page. Login, we use all these later. Um, so first, we're just going to just check that with this code base. We can create the API like we did in the class, if you still remember, on week 11. We did some practice to connect the Supabase. I think I will just repeat it in this video. Yeah, just to make sure that everybody still, remember how to do that. So basically, the first thing we're going to do is that you're going to have to create a file called .env. You can do .env.local just to make sure that it's a for local implementation. I will just do .env. And I have this set so that it won't be committed into the repository. Okay, so basically we set this separately in our Vercel project anyway. So here in git ignore, we already have .env and we start .local, so this will be pretty fine. Also, normally you pretty want expose your database key, but you're going to see mine on the video. This definitely is something you don't want to do, but then I'm wiping it out in 2 months anyway, so I should be fine. So just go to your browser account. Okay. Go to storage. This is where you will find your database. Okay. Mine is this one. And when we want to deploy our application, we're gonna have to link it to this. But at this point, I will just keep it local. Okay. So basically, you can get your key from two places. You can get it from here. I will just do show secret because I don't care. Okay. What you want is you want to get next Supabase anon key. That one. Uh, and I'm going to put this in the env. Okay, and the other one that you want going to be net public. Oh, sorry. Actually, you want next public Supabase anon key, yeah. And then you're going to need wait, why do I have two of these? Okay, should be the same. And I will need the URL. How come I don't see it here? I'm looking for the public URL, which I don't see it. Anyway, let me open this in Supabase. That actually going to be the other place where you can get your the key that you need. ทำไมมันหายไป Postgres I don't need the Postgres URL public Supabase and then key service role I don't want pulling public Supabase. That's weird. Actually looking for Supabase URL. Which for some reason I saw that before. Anyway, I'm just gonna use from here. And if you click on open in Supabase, go to Supabase website. Click on connect here. Okay. And then go to app framework. This is what I'm looking for. Public Supabase URL. It used to be in Versa as well. I'm not sure why it disappeared. I just saw it a few minutes ago. Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, so that this is the URL that you want. Okay, and you would notice that in my Supabase, I have a different key called next Supabase publishable default key. Okay, this is a new key that going to be replacing this unknown key. To get this, if you didn't go to the opt-in process, you please still have this key instead. To get this key, click on read announcement. Okay, here if you scroll down, there will be like the process where they're going to duplicate the key. And then there's a link to opt-in Supabase dashboard. Okay, click on that and select your database. Okay, you will be presented with this page. And then there's a button for you to create the key. Okay, so here once you click on it to create the key, when you go back to connect, it will give you this key instead of the unknown key. Okay, but we will use it. We can use both of them. I'll show you there later. So basically here, once you have this key, well, actually all the code that you will need at the starter are going to be on this page anyway. Okay. So the first thing first, you would notice that we have this util Supabase server.ts, util Supabase client.ts. We're going to need these two. So we're just going to simply copy it. Okay, and you would notice this line because mine is publishable default key. It's a publishable default key. So if you still use unknown key, make it consistent. Okay. Anyway, let's first do this. So in this, I'm not going to create util because I already has the lib folder that works similarly. So I'm going to create folder Supabase. Okay, so and then I'm going to do client.ts and server.ts. Okay, so actually this is where you're going to copy all this. Remember that there's a copy. Okay, just copy and paste it there. Okay, the client as well. Just copy and paste it here. Okay. So you will need the Supabase SSS RRS, okay, and the Supabase JS, which is the library of the Supabase client. I think the link should already be on the slide. Anyway, if you forget how to do stuff, um, I'm actually looking for the link. Well, let me just okay. So you need to install two things. So here, this is the npm command that you would want. So npm install Supabase /ssr and Supabase/Supabase dash js. Mine is probably already installed, but if it is fine. If it already installed, just ignore me. Okay, print. Happily not installed yet, so that's good. So this is what you want. So install the library. Now you need both of these so that it will work with this. And okay, so client, we have server code, we have client code, so that's good. Okay, so next we're going to um, try something just to make sure that we can connect to our database. So basically, first thing first, I should do the new S book. But I'm going to try my um, command first. So I'm going to create an API here. Um, we're not really using this at this point because I think I already create thing as a server component. So for those server component, I should be able to use Supabase client. This one directly, but let's just try it. So I'm going to do new book API route. So OUTE. Yes. Okay, so this is our route as usual. So here we're going to try to create the router for it. So this is a route handler. So I'm going to do next, and I type something weird. It's trying to streaming all the time. Next request, and I want next request and next response from next slash server. Okay. Okay. How come it keep coming? Okay. And then we're going to import the create current that we just create in server. So create. Yeah, I need from the server. Okay. And then I'm going to import the header. Not header, cookies, because if you notice that the server actually use cookies to operate. So we're going to export. This is the format stuff for the function, for the get function that we're going to do. So we're going to take a request, although I'm actually not using it at this point, but I will just read it. Okay. So here, just to use the client, so we're going to get the cookie store. I'll fix this later. Cookie. I'm not sure what I did. Cookie store. Okay. Supabase. And we're going to create client from the cookie store. Oh, now I remember. Remember that I told you guys that if you're going to use a different key, make sure that you get the correct one. So I got this code from the Supabase. So it's configured, mine is already configured to use publishable default key. But first, I actually took the key that I think you guys would have at this point, which is the Supabase unknown key. So let's configure that first. So I'm just going to copy this and comment this out. They both actually both would work the same way. Okay, you just need to call the correct name. And also just remember that the unknown key is actually going to be deprecated in 2026. So if you use it, you're going to have to be careful. Okay. So I'm going to do this with client.ts as well. Okay. That should be fine now. So basically, you would notice that I'm just replace this Supabase key value with the anonymous key in both file. But we're actually using this file at this time. Okay. Okay, let's go back to our route. So this client in Supabase actually has a specific way for you to do query from the database. It's actually based on the SQL. So the SQL stuff that we learned last time, just think of them, but we're not using it directly. Okay. So basically, if you go to API doc, this will tell you how you be able to do the query from your database. So so here basically it will tell you, like, for example, if you want to read rows from other, you will do something like await. And this Supabase is your client, okay, the client that we just create, okay. So dot from, that's your table name, from where. So and then it will be select. So it's kind of reverse from the SQL stuff where you do select and then column name and from table. This you will do select other ID from other. Okay. And this is example of how you would use the function. So if you select all, you don't need to do any filtering. If you want to read specific column, okay, you add column name. If you want to join it with the other table, you put the name of the table that you want to join, with the foreign key inside. Okay. You can do something. Okay, here. If you want to do filtering, like where, so equal EQ is equal to GT is greater than, less than, greater or less than. Okay. So these are example for select. If you have more complicated stuff that is more complicated than the API can handle, what you can do is to create a view and then access the view instead. So to create a view or create a function, then you're going to fall back to the SQL that we talked about last week. Okay. So yeah, so there example of how you would use all these table. Okay. There's also guide and API reference if you want. Um, let me see. There's a doc, not this one. There's a document. Okay, here. Getting started, and then database. Okay, so if you want to read on how you do stuff, just go here. Okay, so how you do relationship and stuff, and also working with your database. I think it would be this one, loading data there. So go to loading data section, okay, and then there's an example of how you do stuff. Okay, now with that said, let's go back to our code. I'm going to do the example of SQL string to fetch the newest book. So I will say const data. So basically data is the variable. This is our data types. Not data, the variable that we're going to use later. So our data actually going to be put in there. And then if there's an error, it will be over here. Okay. Um, so this is thing that going to got return from this Supabase client when we ask it to uh, run the select command for us. So from here, if you remember the schema, I'm going to look for the newest book. In my schema, the book doesn't have the date. So to know which book is bought the latest, I have to go to the book copy so that I know the acquisition date. Okay, because on this book, well, actually can do public years if you want. The book that published like earliest, but in this case, I'm going to show the book that our library just bought. I think that would be more interesting for our patron to know that, oh, this one is we already finally bought it and it's available now. So we're going to look at this book copy here. We're going to fetch the information on the book that has the newest, 5 newest acquisition date. And we're going to show, we need to join with books so that we get the book information. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do data from select from book copy. Okay. So what we're going to do is dot select. Select what? So I'm gonna need a backtick. Yes. So I'm going to select copy ID. And then this going to join with book. So the API actually would be smart enough to fetch the book information for you. So what do I want from book? I need a SBN, title, publisher, pub year. I only need that. I don't need language. Okay. So ISBN, title, publisher, and pub year. And then I would need to order this by ACQUISITION. Okay, so I need to order this by this acquisition date here. And I need to order this in ascending order, false, so that it will reverse. Okay, and I only need 5. So you would notice that it's pretty similar to the select command from it will pretty similar to the select command SQL command that we learned before. It's just organized in a slightly different format. That's all. Okay, so we already await this. So it's going to wait until all the data is fetched from the database and put it in here, or we get the error. So we're going to check if we have an error. So if error, we're going to print out. And then with the error object. Okay. And then we probably should not return the success. So I'm going to create a response with an error code. Okay. And I'm going to say the status to error status. Okay. So if this done properly, we're just going to return response with the book that we just retrieved. Okay. So let's see how this go. So hopefully this is what we need. And I don't do something strange. Okay, so as if you still remember, this will work as a backend API. So you will access it using the path to it. Okay, everything go well. So here are the 5 newest book that we just bought. Okay. Actually, I probably should get just to make sure. So in addition to copy ID, I probably should get acquisition date just to make sure that I don't do anything strange. Okay, just to make sure that it's actually new. Okay, looks good. This one get bought in 2021. This in 2020, 2020 September, March. Okay, so that should be the newest one that recosting actually sorted in the correct order. So here is just a test that we actually can retrieve the data from our Supabase, and this is anonymous. Okay, so but this will be our front page or something that you don't need authentication, so we're going to work with that first. Next, actually, let me show you the other key. So remember that I told you that um, the unknown key is actually deprecated. So if you just create the new type of key and want to start using it, basically this is a code that Supabase gave me. So you can just um, use this as a Supabase key instead of the unknown key. But remember that you have to create this first, or else what Supabase gives you will be unknown key, not publishable default key. But it will work just the same way. So here I just reset the server so that we make sure that it's created client again. If I just hit the API again, um, it actually has problem connecting to Supabase. Okay, set to file this value. For some reason, it cannot create the client for me. Anyway, put the key. um, so actually test. So make sure that I will change. I will check this again later. Um, for some reason, when I use a publishable key, sometimes I get the error. But at this point, if I use the unknown key, it's always work. Um, I check the setup later and tell you guys what to do with that. Okay. So at this point, if you try to use this and get the error, just fall back onto unknown key. At this point, okay. I figure out why I have the error. Okay. I'm going to stop the video at this point because I think it's long enough. Next we're going to try using this on our page instead. So if you actually notice that, like when you click connect, when you click app framework, you would notice that I take these two, and you would notice that they gave you the page.tsx as well. And if you look at this, you would notice that, hey, they just called this right from the tsx, which is our component. So yes, actually, with the client that Supabase gave us, if you are, well, actually, I even you on the client or the server component, you actually don't need to hit the API anymore. You can just directly fetch the data right from your client or server component using the client that they gave you. Okay, so we will try that in the next video. We'll see how that goes. Okay, see you guys. Bye. And I'm trying to stop